Two Jack Bros! Two Jack Bros!
Welcome back to Two Jack Bros. And if it is your first time, welcome to you and thank you for giving us a shot. I am Sidney. I am sitting next to Ansley.
Hello.
And today our guest is none other than the Justin Lamar.
How y'all doing?
What's going on, Justin?
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. And you got a couple things that people can check you out on.
Absolutely.
This isn't he's getting
Is this
tested
my
right now.
opportunity? This is my opportunity. We talked about this
Yeah.
right before we went live. Yes, you can find me at justinlamar.com. I'm Justin Lamar across all platforms. That's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and even TikTok. There's a 41 after
You be
my
doing
name.
dances?
I don't do no dances, but, I do a couple of silly videos. I upload some stand-up.
All right, nice.
So, yeah. You can see me this weekend at Punchline, 7 o'clock at the Laugh Therapy Tour with Chanel Renee, Marshall Brandon, some other great comics, OC Diesel, T Macaroni. I'm just going to shout out everybody on the flyer that I can remember right now.
Yeah.
I'm actually not on that flyer, but I'm a special guest. But it's going to be fun, though. That's going to be a fun time.
Okay. And I don't know if you know this, but you also have a comedy club.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. The Justin Joy Comedy Club. We are at Studio 7200 there every month. This show is going to be the 30th, July 30th. So
Hell yeah.
get at me for that.
Get at him, right? Justin. So, real quick, Justin,
Yes.
do you know what we do on this podcast?
Ask questions, have conversations. I watched the Drew Montana
Okay.
episode. I was very entertained. Yeah.
All right, gotcha. Right. So the premise of this podcast is to prove that you can have a dark sense of humor, just a good sense of humor. You can be about having fun and still reach a higher consciousness or enlightenment, however you like to clarify it. So what we do is we take our guest, who today is you, Justin Lamar, through the process of enlightenment, so that our listeners and Ansley and I can laugh our way to a higher consciousness while you do all the hard work.
Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah, that's the part.
I forgot about
Yeah.
I don't get to have no fun in here.
You can have fun. We're all gonna have a good
I want to
time.
laugh my way to
you
a
can
higher
laugh too.
consciousness
You can
as
laugh too,
well.
but
I
you
would
also
like
gotta
to take that trip
you also
with
gotta
y'all.
answer the questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's what I'm here for.
So everybody gets the same questions, and you ready?
I am.
Okay, Ansley, let's get it.
All right. So, Justin, what situation or event did you learn the most information from?
Oh, damn. I do remember this question. Oof, this one hurts. What situation or event did I learn the most from? Having children.
Okay.
I think I learned the most from that situation or event. Would you like to know why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No more.
No. It's just like correct. Next question.
I'll just take a couple things that happened in that time.
Yeah. Well, actually, before you answer that question,
Yeah.
what was your life like before having kids?
Selfish.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, like what ways was that selfishness being expressed the most?
Netflix binge days with nothing accomplished. Just day of sloth is what we call Sunday. I didn't even praise the Lord on Sundays. I just, you know what I mean? Whatever felt good to me, that's what I was going to do.
Mm-hmm. You were just living a life of hedonistic pleasure.
Yes. Yes.
So is what mostly felt good to you Netflix, or were there other vices?
There was other vices besides Netflix.
What were your top? What? How many do you want to know?
3.
3? What were your top 3 vices?
Let's say on a Sunday.
The Sunday's vices.
No, but
Yeah, I'm trying to think about a schedule back then. With my Sunday vices? Yeah, let's do Sunday vices.
I was recovering from some shit on some Sunday that I did on Saturday, right?
Okay.
So, I would get high on Sunday, which I still do on the Sunday now. I just make sure that the babies is fed first.
Yeah.
Or somebody's feeding the babies. Probably sex or masturbation at some point.
Okay, of
in the
course.
day. And, eating. That was good. Ordering, like, waking, like, sleeping until 11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That type of shit.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Justin. It just sounds like a Sunday to me. I don't know. These are your vices.
It was.
Like, what is your life like now that those were your vices?
I'm a simple vice type of guy. We don't chill on Sundays.
So you're indulging in these things, like excessively. Like, so you're eating a lot of food, you're smoking a lot of weed.
As much as I wanted to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You were a man that was doing whatever he wanted, especially on Sunday.
Yeah, and every Sunday wasn't the same, but they mostly were though. You know what I mean? There could be different vices. Did you want to hear me say I was doing crack cocaine on Sundays?
I would not like to hear that.
That's more of a Friday type of.
Yeah, that's
like earlier in the week. You can't go out like that on Sunday. Not on Sunday.
You can't be telling people you do crack on Sundays, dog. Not on this podcast. That's not what we do here, Justin. I'm trying to get you in a gotcha moment.
You act like my vices wasn't vicey enough.
I don't know. I mean, I guess like I don't know.
Well, there's one thing doing all those things like all day whenever you want. It's another thing when you're like stealing 30 minutes and like, hiding the sweets that you're like, I can eat these, you can't eat these.
Yeah.
Like going outside around the corner to smoke your weed or whatever.
Right,
like,
right. Yeah, I gotta.
Okay, so now, so you're living a life of just like whatever impulse struck you, you indulge it. Just whatever you want to do.
I'd say so within the parameters of the particular relationship that I was
like
involved
economics,
in.
height.
Yeah, those type of
I can
things.
only reach so much shit, dog.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
if I want to grab it, I grab it.
Like,
Yeah.
just doing what I wanted to.
All right, so then you have a kid.
Yes, I have a kid.
And
There's a couple things I learned from having a kid. I would never look at sex again the same after that.
it's a trap. Don't do it.
I tried to look away, and I knew because
Yeah.
I had, I'm a guy that likes to do his research before he goes into a situation. So I spoke.
Wait, so you didn't know sex made babies?
The way that the baby came out was the more of the surprise, and it was just, I realized that what I had been looking at the vagina to do for so many years was the most minimal purpose of what the vagina could actually do. Like, it slid out a whole human, and then it looked at me.
You
And then I had that skin-to-skin contact that we were talking about.
You'd only been using it for Sunday vices. At
Sunday
this point.
vices. Just Sunday vices, just putting my face in it,
Yeah.
But what I learned, so shortly after I had that child, we went through that, I almost passed out, but I held myself up. I was strong. Jesus was with me that day.
Yeah.
And
it's a gross experience. It's disgusting.
It is. And I learned that people are liars. And here's when I knew that people were liars. The research that I did, I had heard men always, not even just men, but I heard people say, it's love at first sight when you see your baby. Bullshit. Mm-hmm. No, it ain't.
You're slimy.
No, it's like, why is the head shaped like that?
Yeah.
Are they supposed to get as many needles this fast?
Yeah.
All
like,
these it's not.
It's questions
I felt
at first sight.
I have to protect this.
Yeah.
This thing that just came out of my wife. That's now my
Oh,
daughter.
you feel obligated, but we definitely got to go
love?
over a couple questions.
Nah.
Yeah.
I just thought that was best, and I'm a lovey type guy. Like, I am I would consider myself an emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in touch with that. It wasn't love at first sight.
So what did you feel?
Scared. Like,
okay.
Like, damn, I'm responsible for this now. This is not no egg that, high school they give you in high school, tell you protect it for a week. You know what I'm saying? This is real. Mm-hmm. So, like, having to make the decision with the first shot, I was like, oh, shit. Like, it's crazy. I also learned that money over everything. Because within 30 minutes of me having my child, somebody came into the room and asked me to pay for the child already that we hadn't even had. I was like, and I was just so out of it. I just gave the MX up, and did it. Like, I didn't even think of like there was anything wrong with that. And I did later find out that it was money over everything. Like they shouldn't have came in a room and asked two brand new parents to pay.
It's like, did you have your baby at like a TGI Fridays late at night when they were trying to close?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like it's like they're about to close down the hospital and they had to close on my tab.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, this is kind of crazy.
I know they ain't going to tip. It's like, whoa.
And the last thing, the thing I'm not proud to say this, but it's true. It's like when we first got to the my wife was in labor for approximately 17 hours, and so we got there like 2 a.m. She didn't have it until 7 at night, and I'm not sure if that equates to 13. So don't judge me if I'm stupid.
Yeah, we don't do math on this.
Good, awesome.
Yeah.
But when we first got intake, I think this was pre-COVID because was it pre-COVID? No, it was pre-COVID. But the girl was still masked up that helped us out. I didn't see her. Mm-hmm. And when we had the baby, there was a whole bunch of women that came in, like a bunch of women, and one in particular was like gorgeous, and like that was like the only thing that distracted me from like the massacre that was my wife was going through. Mm-hmm. And I was like, of all times to be looking at other women, this is not the time. And I realized I'm like.
I would have lodged a formal complaint.
The dog is that's why I knew like the dog would never leave me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm such a dog.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why am I even looking at her like this way? And she's like, you remember me, right? And I was like, no, I don't remember you at all.
I never met you before, honey. I never met her before.
I was like, I don't know you. She's like, I know. I was the nurse that took you in this morning, but she was like masked up.
Yeah.
I didn't realize like she had a whole transformation. I was like, oh my God, she's beautiful. But yeah. 3 things I learned.
Okay.
I took a lot of information.
Yeah.
From that situation.
If you had to sum up the information you got from the experience of having a child in like a sentence, like how would you sum it up?
If I had to sum up the information,
like all that information that you got from the experience of having a child, how would you just like button that up in a nice little plot line?
Think before you bust.
All right.
That's what I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. I do, honestly.
You think?
You do.
Yeah, I think. I'm thinking, I'm going to bust. Yes. I don't know. So, I don't know. I do think.
I'm seeing black and white. That was so funny. That was hilarious. I'm gonna bust. Okay, I'm sorry.
So that was. Thank you for answering that. Now, from here on out, what we're gonna do is each question is gonna be associated with opening up a chakra. We start with the bottom chakra, the root chakra, which is located in the butthole. This is where it is. We didn't put it there.
Okay.
You okay with that?
What? Wait, what? Hold on. I missed this.
Nobody touches your butthole. Nobody touches your butthole.
All right.
Right? But that's where the chakra
we can
is
talk
located.
All right.
Right?
It might tingle. We can't promise.
Yeah.
Words.
Yeah. You don't have to tell us either, but if it does, it does. You know what I mean?
I'm open, so I'll tell you if I'm feeling something.
Okay. Yeah.
Right,
all right. Justin, how did you learn to overcome fear?
Ooh. How did I learn to overcome fear? Will Smith.
Okay.
This is going to sound stupid as fuck.
You know what? It probably won't. Believe it or not, we might have been down this road before. But go ahead.
I'm just going to use it with like my start of comedy. Like I was post college. I was a graduate, and I was looking for. This is not funny. I was looking for a direction to go in my life, and I came across a Will Smith video where he was saying like how he learned to overcome fear, and he said that every time he felt fear, he decided he was going to attack that thing. So even though I had overcome fear other times in my life to get to that point, I think that was like a key lock moment. Listening to him say, "Attack everything you're scared of."
Okay, so what were you doing before then? Like, how were you handling your fear before
Just
that
being
moment?
a bitch, avoiding it. I don't remember. Like, I'm definitely fearful of things, but I don't remember fearing anything in a long time, like without knowing that this fear is just what it is. It's just fear. Like 9 times out of 10, unless I'm going to run into oncoming traffic or go swim in fire, like the thing is not going to hurt me. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's the idea of what's going to happen that's hurting me.
Okay. So do you remember a time in your life when you were the most scared? And it could go all the way back to childhood.
Yeah, man, it was pretty scary knowing you fucked up and your parents was coming home to whip that ass. That's to go sit on the toilet for an hour and a half to try to avoid that.
He's like, Mom, my stomach still hurts. I understand you want to beat me, but my stomach still hurts.
Yeah, that's a real fear. Doing homework as a little black kid in my household was scary as shit. Because you got to think and dodge.
Yeah.
Dodge and think.
So can you remember a specific time where you were, like this one time you were waiting to get this beating, you were waiting for to come home and get dealt with?
Well, I still remember what the porcelain felt on my butt cheeks in 5th grade after my student parent teacher conference.
Yeah.
And then they told my teacher told my father that I was a chatterbug, social butterfly.
Yeah.
And he didn't see that as a positive thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
First of all, my son ain't gay. We'll deal with that. Don't be calling him butterfly anything.
Exactly. That's probably why he was really pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, we went and saw his teacher talking about all this butterfly shit.
Hey, boy, I'm coming home and whoop your ass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was I do remember that. I remember sitting on there. Like, that was probably the longest I ever sat in the toilet without taking a shit.
Yeah. And you didn't get pulled out of the bathroom? Like, dude, come out of the bathroom. Let's get this.
I knew that if I had stayed, I knew I was going to get pulled out eventually. So then I had to face fear, bro. I unlocked the door, went out there, took my ass whooping, and I lived to talk about it on your podcast. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. Shout out, Dad. So do you remember the first thing you attacked after Will Smith told you to stop being a bitch?
It was stand-up comedy.
Yeah? Yeah,
it was, I had went to an open mic that I actually seen Shane Gillis on out in Lancaster. And, I watched 2 times, and maybe I saw his video after the second time. I was like, okay, I'm scared of this. I need to do it.
That's what's up. All right.
Nice.
All right, we consider that a fear chakra unlocked.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Ansley, keep it moving.
My butthole didn't tingle, though. I'm kind of disappointed.
We'll see. There's time. Unless there's a more specific fear that you are not talking about.
I'm scared of birds, and I still ain't got over that yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of black people who are scared of birds. I don't really fuck
with
birds. Yeah, especially like the closer you live to a city.
Yeah.
For some reason, the more you're afraid of birds as a black person.
Yeah,
because these Philly pigeons is disrespectful.
Yeah.
Nah, seriously, like Philly pigeons, like Kensington crackheads.
Yeah, they're gonna like claw your eyes out.
They just always on some shit.
Yeah.
That was that literally, like I saw a pigeon when I was like 3 years old, and I've been scared of the birds altogether till I'm like 34. To this day.
Is that why you took us to Hawk Mountain? You were like, I'm facing the fear.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So you faced a bird?
Yeah, I like nature. I mess with nature a little bit.
I fuck with nature too, a little bit, but if we talking birds.
Yeah, we like to go to Hawk Mountain, and when you hike up to the top of Hawk Mountain, you're up there, and the hawks are flying at like eye level.
Fuck that, bro.
Yeah. They look like they could swoop down and take a toddler, too. They're big fucking hawks.
I mean, they don't mess with you? Like, obviously, you don't.
I don't know. They might be eyeing you up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't stay long enough for them to enact their plans, but.
We got here. Let's go now.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
I just hold on to
that.
a rock the whole time. Yeah.
So you hold on to your toddlers as your...
No, I let them live.
Trust birds.
Well, they need to learn, too. If something swoops down on you, you got to figure that out. You know?
Just throw them in the pool, man. Let them learn that for it. Not hawks.
That's
I can't do it.
We throw them into a pool of hawks, dog. Yeah, but no, it's you know, it is what it is, right? You know, we live in where we live, you live as well in Pennsylvania. There are a lot of predatory birds, so it's like you can't. I don't want to have to go inside every time I see the shadow of a fucking hawk above me.
I ain't on that type of shit.
I know people like that. Like if there's like a hawk swooping around, it's like, all right, we're going to go inside and see that thing ain't around there anymore.
Cool, shut it down.
Yeah, but we'll consider that a fear chakra unlocked. Ansley, let's keep it moving.
All right, Justin, the next one is a segment we like to call My Bad. It's an opportunity for you to apologize to a person, place, or thing in order to set your karma back to neutral.
Ooh, my bad. Damn.
We just got doing Justin's Patreon episode, and we had so much fun. I'm lightheaded from all the laughing that we just got doing. Do you have a good time, Justin?
I had a great time. Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah, man. $1 gets you all of our exclusive content on the Patreon, which is not only the counter to the podcast you're watching right now, which is 2 Jack Bros After Dark, where we enlighten Justin's shadow self, but you also get the fight commentary and analysis that we do in Ansley's jiu-jitsu matches, as well as anything else that we put up there. $1 gets you all of our exclusive content. Come join the cult. Now we're going to get back to this episode and find out who or what Justin has to apologize to.
I want to apologize to a person, a place, or a thing.
Yeah, basically any noun.
To set my karma back to neutral. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I feel bad. I don't know. No, I don't think about people. Right? I got some people I probably could apologize to.
Probably could,
but I don't really want to, especially publicly. I ain't gonna get on no playtime. I'm cool with apologizing to people in person. Like if I fuck up, like, oh, my bad, bro.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. But a place is interesting. Mm-hmm. Like if I took a pee somewhere I wasn't supposed to take a pee. Mm-hmm. Like
is that where your head is going?
Yeah, yeah.
Where do you be peeing, Justin?
Truthfully, I like to go out right in my backyard and take a piss just because it's my earth. My wife hates it. She's like, why would you do that? I was like, because it's mine. Like, if the rabbits and squirrels can piss back here, I'm going to do the same thing. I know the logic ain't your logic. Maybe more.
Our son had that same logic when he was like 4. Like
he's reached his level of enlightenment.
Yeah, we
are at the same place.
We used our backyard to potty train our son.
That's dope. My son was walking around butt naked just this weekend. We
didn't say that. I said I used my backyard to potty train my son.
I mean, but he was potty training. I should have added that. He was potty training, so no diaper for a weekend. Nice. Maybe I should apologize to the backyard, though. My backyard, because that is my property and my neighbors, any potential neighbors, because I don't really like live in like a really private area, which makes it a little bit probably more crazy. Yeah. So
you want to apologize potentially to your neighbors who could potentially have to deal with it and whatever consequence they have.
Yeah.
To the backyard, the earth in and of itself.
To the earth that I.
But not to your wife who hates it. I'm just checking. I'm just making sure.
Baby, I'm gonna say it right here. I'm sorry that for the first couple months of living in our house, I skipped by the bathroom to go to the backyard. I apologize.
You walked past the bathroom
that was
doors stayed open for him.
But when I get something in my head, I almost got to do it.
Okay.
Almost got to do it.
That's a good. We got there.
Yeah, it's a good apology.
You almost skipped right by the wife to do that apology.
The earth, the neighbors.
Okay, so we'll consider that a pelvis chakra unlocked. Mm-hmm. Right, this is
wonderful.
Easy.
Yeah, it
right?
is. Yeah.
Easy, right?
Yeah.
Ansley, let's keep it moving.
Right, we're at the gut chakra now. So, Justin, how do you move past disappointment, whether it's in yourself or in others?
Lord. Still learning. How do I move past disappointment? I think you got to work your way past disappointment. I'm still disappointed I'm not in the NBA. And the only thing I could do to not think about being in the NBA is work on something else, i.e. stand-up comedy, i.e. music at times, i.e. barbering. I'm like almost a jack of all trades. I do a lot. But I honestly think that if you are disappointed about something, which I've been disappointed about things recently, I figured putting my focus somewhere productive is the best way that I can get past disappointment.
Yeah.
Because that's the destination.
I guess I always like to ask this question. This is a common follow-up to this section, which is if you've done any sports or performance arts, as a youth up until this point, like before comedy, like any one specific disappointment that still haunts you?
Yeah, for sure. Many. But I'll say my last college game, because that was my last opportunity to play college basketball. And, I always think about what I could have did better, not just in that game, but before that game, to be ready for that game.
Yeah.
Because if I would have been better before that game, I'd have been ready, obviously, to give my best that game and then the following game and so on and so forth.
So, I mean, was your last game a comparatively to the rest of your year, was it a worse game?
It wasn't a worse game. It was just my last game.
Was it a playoff game?
It was a playoff game.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my last game. And it's weird. Like, I had given so much of my life to basketball from the time that I could dribble, let's say 4 or 5, to the time I was 24, 25. So I was just actually thinking about this day. I was telling my friend, like you guys are familiar with Kobe Bryant, obviously, right? And Mamba mentality. Well, Mamba mentality is bullshit when you 5'11" with moderate to decent athleticism. I don't care how hard you work. Like, I was like having this, like, the debate with myself, like, if I did have Mamba mentality, would I have been in X, Y, or Z situation? And ultimately, no. Because people forget that Kobe Bryant's dad was Joe Jellybean Bryant.
That is true.
This motherfucker had the genetics.
He had genetics
to go. He had I'm not going to discount his work ethic. He was absolutely a phenomenally motivated person. You know what I mean? He was super motivated, but he was also 6'6" and could jump out the gym. I don't care how much I love basketball. I was not going to be jumping out the gym like that. You know what I mean? I don't even know. I feel like we got lost.
No.
I feel like we're off.
I don't know. Where where you are. We are where you are. How do you feel about the fact that you just said that, I guess, is what I'm... Because that's what we're sitting in right now.
Yeah.
It feels like you just said a thing, and now you're processing the thing you said, right? I feel like that's partially happening because of the maybe reaction or lack of reaction you're getting from us as you're saying it. And so I'll say, because we were both athletes,
right?
College athletes and stuff, and Ansley competes as an athlete now, right? So we had kind of an opportunity, almost, because we met when we were like pretty good, and like could have been better if we would have like implemented better tactics of like recovery and like more Mamba mentality, right? So then we had an opportunity later in life, like after a big gap between that college athletic experience and now adults in our 40s, and Ansley's out there winning championships and shit.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Mad respect, by the way, because I know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It would be hard to convince myself that if I would have applied the same mentality back then, I wouldn't have, or even Ansley, we wouldn't have been better. Do you know what I mean? Because
I cut you off.
Yeah.
So I believe that the resources that you and Ansley had was not what, or I'll put us all in the same category. Let's assume we're in the same category. Whereas your dad was in West Point, right? But he wasn't a professional athlete. Your mom or dad was not a professional athlete, right?
Yeah, but my dad was like a Golden Gloves boxer. My mom was a state champion in the 100. Like I have genetics.
All right, so you got genetics, but also the knowledge and resources to know. Like as good as I was at basketball, and I was very good. my father never let me believe that I was going to be a professional basketball player because he was not a professional basketball player, even though with the quote-unquote Mamba mentality, I very well could have played professional basketball. And I did end up playing some professional basketball. I got paid to play. Mm-hmm. But it was with a belief system of only believing I can achieve certain things. Mm-hmm. Whereas when Kobe was born, he knew he was going to the NBA by the age of 3. Like maybe the skill hadn't caught up to the confidence, mm-hmm. but eventually it did.
Well, see, so that's where I think the disconnect is, because the Mamba mentality, the purpose of it is to break through all ceilings. It's to make an effort, to make a daily consistent effort in a way where the effort you make and the results that you get erode your sense of limitations.
But do you think that Kobe would have developed his Mamba
in
mentality?
My body? What? In my body?
No, I was going to say without the coaching that he got from his dad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know when I didn't know about Kobe's work ethic and Mamba mentality back in college. Like, that just wasn't on my radar.
He didn't make it up, though. I'm going to say that, too.
Right. So, like he had... So I'm, like, agreeing with both of you guys, saying that, like, I don't think that there's that limitations should be put on a person. But I also think that maybe he was able to develop his mindset and his work ethic and where he got to because he had those resources when he was young. Like, he didn't, like you're saying, he didn't make up the Mamba mentality, you know, but he had that instilled into him when he was a very young child.
Agreed.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, he definitely grew up with basketball in a way that allowed him at 17 to be doing interviews where, like, well, my philosophy on basketball is
right.
Like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Like, he was classically trained in basketball.
Right.
Like, if Kobe, like, we did some Space Jam shit and Kobe put his mind, spirit into my body.
Yeah.
I probably would have played Division I and some professional basketball, mm-hmm. but I wouldn't have been leading the Lakers to no championships.
Oh, neither did LeBron this year.
You know?
Yeah. All right. That's fair. All right.
Yeah.
So, thank you for sharing that, first of all.
Yes.
You know, I know how, because, like, it took so long to reconcile the choices that I made with my athletic career that led me to the final results that I ended up with.
How long? Because I've wondered this.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
No, it's so hard to let go of some shit.
Well, it was. I mean, I got a little too into my Sunday vices every day of the week, you know, and so I wasn't applying myself the way that I should have been, you know, and it's like, you know, I made those choices, you know. So
man,
it's I think probably when we had Finn,
Yeah.
you know, and it was just like realizing that, again, a lot of the reasons that I was making the choices that I was making was probably because of the upbringing that I had. Mm-hmm. And it was like, all right, well, I have an opportunity to give my son a different type of backbone, I guess, a different type of, like, ground floor that I had, mm-hmm. and, like, hopefully he can make better choices, right, or choices that he's more comfortable with, mm-hmm. by the time he has his first kid. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but it's like, other than that, it's like, I mean, there's nothing I'm going to do. I'm not going to, like, go back and use my last year of eligibility for track. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just have to move on, and I love comedy, and I love my life. Mm-hmm. You know, like, there's no alternative life that I think about being able to have where I'm like, I'd sacrifice that for everything that I have right now.
Yeah, that's the funny part, because I think I love my life too. Like, mm-hmm. I can genuinely say that I love my life too, and every decision I made led me here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just having this conversation with Finn today because he was complaining about going to do Muay Thai, and I was like, I would give up. Like, I wish I could go do Muay Thai all day instead of going to a job during the day. He's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, you don't get it. Like, you don't really, like, I didn't realize with the end of college that it was like sports weren't just going to be an everyday thing moving forward. Like, that didn't hit me till after I left.
Yeah, I guess that's what the hard thing to deal with was. Like, sports are over.
Right.
You know, and like everything about me up until this point, as far as my identity was concerned, revolved around sports in one way or another. Like, I ate the way I ate because of sports, and I slept the way I slept because of sports.
Right.
You know, I did that. Like, there was everything that I did revolved around me conditioning my mind to be an athlete.
Absolutely. And I hate when I've worked in corporate America for several years, and I hate when they try to compare the quarterly numbers to the game. I'm like, eat a dick.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? They ain't the same. You have that Mamba mentality. I had a manager tell me that shit. I'm like, you get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. All right. So we'll consider that. That's a gut chakra unlocked, right? Ansley, keep it moving.
So, Justin, what have you learned from grief? This is the heart chakra.
I've learned that I don't know. I feel like this may sound weird, but I feel like I can't handle what I think I can handle.
Okay. Please explain.
Without getting too deep into it, but I basically I experienced grief, and I knew that the grief was possible, and I was like, well, it'll come. I've had grief before. I'll handle it. And then the grief came, and then I realized, I was like, damn, it exposes all the insecurities in me, all of the jealousy in me, all of all the shortcomings that grief that you do to cover up grief come to the surface.
Yeah.
So I think when you're sad, it's sad a cousin of grief. Can I say that? Like you start to dive into things that make you comfortable but aren't really good for you. You know what I'm saying? To avoid grief or to avoid facing grief head up.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, that's my answer, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, it is really interesting. I mean, because you are very raw in a genuine moment of grief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Raw. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of like when we move through our everyday, we got the armor on. You know, somebody cuts you off in traffic and calls you an asshole. It doesn't hurt your feelings. You get it. You got your armor on.
Yeah.
Slick comments with the wife and the husband. Like,
yeah.
Most time you got your armor on. You know what I mean? But like when you're hurt and like you feel everything. Like no armor. Like you feel everything, and then.
I think that helps you, like, for at least personally, I think it helped me to appreciate other people, too. Because, like, you did have to face your, like, I don't think I can do this right now. You know, and, like, and other people in your life that, you know, came and took care of different things. And, like, you can look at it and be like, thank goodness that, like, they're there for me. Because I don't think I would have got through that, you know?
Hell yeah. I was actually there with it's funny, I had a friend of mine go through like a period of year of grief, and just because we were friends and like I care about people, I was there for him. And then I went through a similar grief, and then like he was there for me. So it's like we got to have different appreciation for each other in different times.
Yeah.
So it was like almost like kind of a spiritual experience that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know I was gonna go through this shit.
Yeah.
He didn't know he was going to go through this shit. It just happened one day, and then immediately, like I said, you're raw. You're walking around raw every day.
Yeah.
And it's like it was, when I went through my grief, I started thinking about what he was going through at that time. Because I didn't feel it. I just knew my role as a friend was to pick you up.
Yeah.
Help you not think about it. Give you a perspective that.
Now, when you were going through the grief.
Yeah.
And you were experiencing it now, and you had just helped your friend get through things, were there moments where you're like, fuck, man, I shouldn't have said what I said when I said that one time? Or you were like, when you were looking back at like what was happening, actually experiencing it, when you were grading yourself about how you were for him, what was your grade?
I handled him pretty well.
Yeah.
Like I was the shit as a friend, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
But there's definitely times where I've been in the shoes of someone else that was going through grief, like now I'm wearing those shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I did not get it at all. Right. And now I do get it. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I've worn a lot of different shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, Ansley, black people always have a lot of shoes.
I know, you guys like the shoes.
So, all right. I know you don't want to get too deep into it. So, usually I would ask a person, is there a grief experience that you would like to share where you learned that situation from? But it seems like you...
I mean, I can share some grief experiences, which I can share grief I'm already done with, or
well, I mean, typically the thing. So when we ask that follow-up question, is to get the grief associated with that particular
experience.
Yeah, with like learning that grief puts you in this state of rawness. So we would typically ask about that specific grief. But if that specific grief is something that you'd rather not
we can't
talk
about that grief.
Yeah.
One day we're gonna talk about that grief. We'll discuss that grief in great detail.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, for what you already did share, though, thank you, and we appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And Ansley, keep it moving.
All right. This is the throat chakra. So, Justin, what is a favorite lie that you have told, or you get extra karmic points if it's still in rotation?
What's a lie?
A favorite lie.
A favorite lie?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That I've told?
Yes.
But if it's still in rotation, then I can't lie about it no more, right?
I mean, you can live your life however you want to live your life. We don't micromanage what people do after they leave this room. It's not like I'm going to call you, dude. I will never call you out.
Did I like Hennessy? I don't know. I hate it. Like, black people love Hennessy, and typically you go to black functions, it's like, oh yeah, the Henny got the Henny, and like I be acting happy, but I'm not, because it's disgusting.
Yeah,
That's fair.
And I don't know why people drink that shit.
Do you feel pressured to do so?
Not anymore. No.
Yeah,
I'm very comfortable with ordering my Long Island, which I heard makes me an asshole. I heard assholes drink on Long Island. I heard a comedian say that, and it's really stuck with me.
Yeah.
No, but I take a sweet drink and be cool.
Okay.
And you can't really drink sweet drinks around white people because they think you're a pussy. Is that true, Ansley? I look directly at you.
No, I think you should drink what you like. I don't know.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not, but I would get made fun of for my drink choices. So
Yeah. I mean, it's a social situation. People judge what you drink.
Yeah.
That's fair.
When was the last time you felt like you had to lie about whether or not you like Tennessee?
Oh, it's been a long time. I've kept myself away from the crowds. The Henny crowds, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm straight.
Yeah.
Henny and bullets come together.
That is also true.
You know what I'm saying? So you
Okay.
gotta be
So,
mindful.
but you still consider that the lie that you wanted to get off your chest?
Yeah. That's the best one I can think of right now.
That's the best lie you can think of, Justin?
Yeah, what is your favorite lie?
Oh, man, I've given so many examples.
Because I feel like if you maybe you'll say something and be like, oh,
Yeah, I would have to think of a recent lie.
favorite lie.
Goodness gracious. I know we've been doing this.
I try not to lie. I'm sorry though.
Yeah, everybody says that.
They try not to lie.
Yeah, everybody tries not to lie. Like, if
I'd be lying if I tell you I don't lie.
what are you trying to do now? What is happening here?
I would be lying if I tell you I don't lie, but I'm saying I make a conscious effort to not tell lies.
Yeah, but it happens.
For
right?
sure.
And you don't want it to happen, but it definitely happens.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And sometimes it's more convenient to tell a particular lie than it is. Like, okay, so here's a lie. For the most part, everybody that asks to do the podcast, like, I definitely want to have them on.
Mm-hmm.
But every now and again, somebody will ask to do the podcast where it's like, that's not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
That is not in a million years.
I will never bring you here.
And I go, yeah, I'll get to you. I'll get around to you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, and sometimes I get worried. It makes me worried that like people think I'm doing that to them. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I get worried that people think that I'm putting them off by saying, oh yeah, I'll get to you. Yeah. But that's really the answer for when it's the truth.
Right.
Is I will get to you. Like I typically try to do, we get scheduled up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But every now and again, I look straight in the person's face and say, we'll get to you. My wife will never see your face.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, I guess on that same hue, the how you doing? Oh, I'm all right. Because that's bullshit, right? Because a lot of times we not all right, but you don't really care how I'm doing. It's just polite for you to say, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing good. How are you? That's how that interaction is supposed to go. You're not supposed to be like, well, fucking lights fucked up. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to say that. So that's one of my favorite lies, and I'm going to keep in rotation.
Yeah.
Am I? Am I good?
Yeah. The next time you tell me I'm lying,
is that dark? Is that dark enough?
Are you alright? Yeah, I hear Justin telling everybody he alright. You know
what that means.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. That's like, especially how we have to deal with people on a regular basis, and we're dealing with people in comedy. We kind of got to keep everything light, because you don't want to be considered like the like person that brings everything down by not answering how you doing correctly. If people don't even want to approach you enough to say how you doing, comedy is tough road ahead of you.
But you'll find a stranger every once in a while that you could use as a therapist.
Yeah, but that person is a loser.
You're right.
That person, you don't want to deal with that person in any other context.
But losers gotta win sometimes.
Yeah, losers. Yeah. So you dumping their shit on you is a win for them. You're welcome, losers. You get to deal with my real life.
All the losers I've told my personal life. I'm sorry. I do not agree.
Like people are listening to say, I thought we were just getting to know each other. Yeah. God damn, Justin. All right. Throat chakra unlocked.
Yes,
That is a throat chakra unlocked.
All right. We're at the third eye now, so we're out of the physical chakras into the metaphysical. Yep.
Oh, shit, this might be
all right.
dope.
So what is something that you've always thought of as separate, but as you've grown, you've learned that it's really the same?
Something that I've always thought is separate, but I found out was the same.
Mm-hmm.
People.
How do you mean so?
Well, now more than ever, we are divided. We live in the divided states of America, so everybody's going to their corner. I'm pro-life, I'm pro-choice, I'm pro-police, I'm pro-people. I don't know what the opposite is. But at the end of the day, I think we're all just protecting our own territories and our right to exist in our identities. Mm-hmm. But I see people of different skin colors or religions making the same decisions and fighting the same fights that other people are fighting. But, everybody's color is different or their mascot is different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, they could, like, somebody, if there's, like, somebody on one side of the picket line that's pro-life and the other side of the picket line that's pro-choice,
right,
they can look at each other and be like, well, we are kind of the same amount of angry, so we might be cool with each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I could be cool with you in every other way.
Yeah.
Like, those people can marry each other.
Yeah, I see your Mamba mentality for pro-lifeness.
And I respect that.
Yeah. Because I'm Mamba mentality pro-choice.
Real shit, man. It's like, that's the way I see it. Like, I see it that way. Like, I had an example I can't think of, but.
Yeah.
Well, if we think about racism, right? Like, I don't think we'll get over racism until we can get over, like, fanism. Like, if an Eagles fan can't go to Dallas with his jersey on and not get beat up, we'll never achieve true synchronization as people.
I agree with you. Well, I don't know. Well, I think what we need to do is realize that we are all on the same team.
We don't know that yet.
Yeah. And it's like
because we wearing different skin colors.
But no, even
team colors.
But here's the thing: we also, when we talk about each other, we don't talk about each other as part of us. So if we're talking about Puerto Ricans, we're talking about them, right? Mm-hmm. And what we were doing for a little while on the podcast is instead of saying like black people, we say our black people.
What you mean? I don't get it.
Like, cause that's what they are. Like everybody's people in America. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Everybody is everybody's people.
So like the white people in America are my white people.
Those are our white people.
Yeah, those are our white people. So we're talking about Puerto Ricans. We're talking about our Puerto Ricans. Like,
right.
like we might be making fun of them, but like they live in our house. That's you know, like in whatever impact that they have on the culture that is in us. So when people from other countries like, man, you act like some of them crazy Puerto Ricans. Whoa, those are our Puerto Ricans.
Right.
And yeah, we got that in us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, but I agree. I love your answer.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's well, did you have anything to say about racism, white lady?
No, I do not like it. I am your white lady. You forgot.
I have a very mama mentality about not racism.
Yes.
Shout out, Code.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all right. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's the third eye chakra unlocked.
For sure.
You guys asked some deep questions. I'm glad it went the way it went. Could have said a lot more shit, but I'm
all right. What shit? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. And this is a good time to remind everybody that we do have. Do you have time to stick around for the Patreon? I didn't even ask you.
Yeah,
you have a Patreon after?
I mean, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's like 45. It's not as long as this one. It's a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
And by the way, that Patreon $1 gets you all of our exclusive content. So join our Patreon where you get not only the counter to this podcast, which we call Two Jack Bros After Dark, where we enlighten our guest's shadow self, but also also Ansley's commentary and analysis on Ansley's jiu-jitsu matches and stuff like that. All right.
Yeah.
Ansley, we got one nice question.
Yes. Crown chakra, Justin. All right. This is a two-parter. So what is one thing you can't give up and why? And what would giving it up mean?
What's one thing I can't give up and why?
Mm-hmm.
And what would giving it up mean? Jesus Christ. I can't give up on me.
Why, man?
Because it would mean other people suffering. And ultimately, that ultimate disappointment and dread coming back to forever haunt me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's not really just based in comedy. It's not just based in being a husband and not just based in being a father. It's like an all-around Mamba mentality about my life, if you will. Mm-hmm. Like, I gotta, it's I mean, 2020, 2021, even beyond 2022 has been tough for people. Like, a lot of people I know are struggling. Friends, family, and strangers. But a lot of people have given up in this time. And that's one thing I feel like I can never do.
It's a good answer.
It's a good answer. Great answer.
Yeah. And we haven't heard that before either.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody just gives up on themselves during the podcast. You're like, a lie? What are you talking about? I don't know
questions, man.
All right, man, so that was it. How do you feel?
I feel good, man.
Cool.
I feel good. Thank you for asking me those questions. I feel important.
Now that we're at the end, still no tingling on that butthole? Or you?
Nah, not yet. Hopefully the old Patreon.
Yeah, let's see if we can get that butthole tingling on the Patreon. All right, guys, so head on over to the Patreon. If you're not already there, $1 gets you all of our exclusive content. Remember to check out justinlamar.com. Yes. Justin Lamar on all of the platforms, including TikTok, where he's not dancing. And then Just Enjoy Comedy Club.
Just Enjoy Comedy Club. Check it out.
In Shellingham, once a month. Is there a particular day on the month, like the last?
We usually try to do it the last Saturday every month. Okay. Right now, July 30th is where that sits at.
Hell yeah. Last Saturday of every month. Just Enjoy Comedy Club in Shellingham. All right. Thank you so much for listening, guys. We love you, and we are out.
See ya.
Two Jack Bros. Two Jack Bros.